name is Katarina from Garden Design Tools, and this video it's a few questions, 12 questions to be more precise, that they were put to me on Facebook, and I've decided to make the video public because you might be interested, you might be not, but it's someone that wanted to do some questions about the courses that I have, but actually about what I actually do as well. So this is to Julia, okay? First question is, what do you do in your business? So I'm a garden designer. I graduated from Greenwich University, and I've graduated in London, in the UK, okay? So I know a lot of countries that don't actually have garden design as a discipline. They have landscape architecture or just landscaping, or it's some kind of branch of architecture that deals with the outdoors. Garden design is basically a landscape architect, this is my personal point, my personal view, a landscape architect that's dedicated to residential gardens, domestic gardens, okay? So that's what I do. I design outdoor spaces and gardens, mainly, but not only, mainly for residential use. Sometimes it can happen that I actually have some like a developer's project or something like this, but it's very rare and it's not my niche, okay? So my niche is really residential clients and smaller spaces, more intimate, that you deal with the domestic, with the family or something like this, okay? Second question, what got you inspired to start this business? Actually, I didn't know what to do once I finished high school, so I did quite a few like telemarketing and things like this, horrible jobs like that. Not horrible per se, but that makes you really realize that's not what you want to do. I tried after high school to go to landscape architecture here in Portugal, but I was pretty lack in high school, so I didn't have the average that you need to get in that course that year. So I did a few jobs in a few odd ends, and after I did a small 1-year gardening course, okay, gardening and floricultural course that was supposed to be for people that actually were unemployed here in Portugal. I'm from Portugal, so this is in Portugal. And I did it, and I actually like it, but I wanted to improve and develop more different skills in this area. So, because it was very basic in terms of just a few, even basic in terms of gardening, okay, looking back now. But, and I've decided to apply for this BA Honors Garden Design from Greenwich University. When you're in Portugal and you want to apply for a degree course in England, you need to apply 1 year previous. So that year I did a few jobs, all to do with gardening here in Portugal, while I was waiting 1 year to get in the course. And after, this was 2002 that I started the course in England. So yeah, that's what I really wanted to do. Then the course really opened. I had to work while I was doing the course, which took a bit of the fun out, but it really opened my mind for the possibilities, and I really like this, an area I really like, and every year you're learning something new, and it's something I really enjoy. Third question, what are the goals of your business? The goals, well, I'm not sure about what you mean with goals. Financial goals? Well, you always want to do as best as you can. I like to because I have the garden design practice here in Portugal, so I do the garden design. I have my own garden design practice, and after I have a magazine as well, B-Link. It's actually digital now, with the 1 year printed edition, a big one, but just in Portuguese. The digital, 9 editions a year, and it's in English and in Portuguese. All to do with garden design as well. We go every year to Chelsea Flower Show. It's an amazing festival in London, for those who don't know. I always try to improve myself. And last year I started with the online courses to do with the renderings, with how I do my renderings. So I have the one from Lumion Pro 9 and the one from SketchUp. So I'm trying to do some more courses. But in terms of global business, for now I have these 3 fronts. So the courses, my practice, and the magazine. There's coming a 4th one because I have few ideas, but for now it's these 3. So this is my business is these 3 business, and they're all related, of course, because things I learn for the magazine, for articles, I learn for my own practice, and all this is related. So my goals is always to improve myself and to do always the best, and always to find the best materials, the best plants for the clients, and I had a lot of ups and downs since I started. So I finished my course in 2007. In the end of 2007, I moved back to Portugal. But since then, there's a lot of ups and downs, a lot of learning experience, and my main goals are always to improve, okay? So after more than 10 years now, I do, just now, actually, just last year, it starts for the first time for me to feel more confident, if you can imagine. So it took me 10 years just to learn, because I never worked for other people, okay? Once I finished my course, it's always my own practice, because it was really difficult. In Portugal, we don't have garden design. So, or I was really bad paid if you work for someone else, or you can't work for a landscape architecture firm because they don't see you as an equal, like, you know. So, and I wouldn't like that. That's not my thing either. So, but it took me, because I work always by myself, I think it took me much longer than necessary. If I had some other professionals or some other that I could learn from the beginning, it would be much easier. But because I always work by myself, it took me this amount of time to actually feel more confident now with what I'm doing, and just putting in practice my projects as well. Because finding the right people to implement your projects is really difficult, okay, for at least here. But I'm already answering some of the other questions, I think. The 4th question is, what are your top 3 daily frustrations? Top 3 daily frustrations. I just think lack of time, actually. You know, just trying to really organize yourself, really. Time is, I think, is the most precious thing. That's why when I talk about the project specifically, just make it count, make your work, be valuable, not just by the information you give to your client, but more, economically as well for you, okay? Because if you're doing something, if it's something like for a charity, that's something that's completely different. But if you're working as a business, you need to make your product, that it's your project, that is your ideas, make them with a real value, okay? And make the client appreciate that as well. Don't start working cheaply or working for free, because you're just gonna do crap job because you're frustrated and you're not gonna put really yourself into it. So, but 3 daily frustrations, I don't think I have 3 daily frustrations. I don't think so. It's just a lack of time and trying to organize everything. Sometimes you can be a bit frustrated if people don't appreciate the timetables, or they delayed, or with delivering something. This can be sometimes a bit frustrated, but it depends what the people you work with. But there's no really daily frustrations to think about. I don't think so. what's your experience in this field? So, like I talked a little bit before, um, it's difficult to find the right workflow, okay? That's what took me the longer, I think. Because before I was trying to do the project and do the implementation and do the maintenance and all this. Me and of course other two people or three. But I found it now that the English method of working is actually much better for you, for your creativity and for you as a garden designer or landscape architect. That is, you just do the project, okay, and you outsource everything else, okay? So once you outsource everything else, you on the side of the client always, and you always have the best interest of the client. If not, if it's your own company just doing everything, from project to implementation to maintenance to everything, it's just you are on the other side of the client. So I'm just saying, in terms of sometimes small conflict, that's always some more, you know, misunderstandings and things. It's easier for you to just be the person in the middle, just making sure everything goes along. But yeah, that's my main experience these last years, is like just trying to find the right workflow, and sometimes thinking that you might earn less if it's not if you're just living from the projects, for example. But it's better for your mental health, less stress definitely, and you just have to deal with some logistics, but a lot of the logistics of actually implementing your project is on the side of the builder. So, and that's a lot of stress, okay? So it took me this long to learn that, but it's definitely much better if you have a partner, a builder, a building company that understands you and that talks to you, and that you can actually confidently give you the project to implement. And you go when you do the planting, for example, things like this, okay? What kinds of clients do you have? Homeowners, developers? So I have developers, but developers for homeowners, for residential projects, and homeowners, okay? How do you get clients? So actually this year is very interesting because I'm doing a lot of videos for the courses, for the online courses, and I'm getting a lot of projects like this from Portugal. Even if the videos are talking about the courses, the videos are in English, they're clearly not to publicize my garden design practice, but for some reason they see me all the time. So on Facebook, on LinkedIn, etc. So I'm getting quite a few projects in the beginning of the year. That's not so normal for me, so early in the year. But yeah, I don't advertise. I used to do a few years back on Google search. I think maybe more organically it's better. There is a thing that I think it really works, is having an Instagram, a blog, where having writing articles for magazine of the sector, okay? People start seeing you, if you have always a blog or if you write an article for a magazine, is really interesting for the people to always see you and know what you're talking about, etc. That's really important. That's something you can do easily. But this is organic advertising, and it takes a lot of time, a lot of years for people to start seeing. Other things I think I really like is doing maybe videos. That's an idea, having your own YouTube channel that you can give advice or maybe small tips of how to garden design, but I think organically works better than advertising, especially if you're on your own. I think it works better. I will not spend a budget on adverts, not for now, when you're starting anyway. What platforms of types of ad works best? If for me, in my experience, is Google search works best. But like I said, I don't do a lot of advertisements. But Google search and definitely Instagram. I will not waste a lot of time on Facebook, to be honest. You need a big budget to actually see anything from Facebook nowadays. What problems or difficulties do you face in this business? Sometimes it's just finding the right team of people to work with, okay? So that's the only difficult, in terms of projects, I'm talking about the project now, in terms of garden design projects. Just finding the right people to work with, and yeah, that's the main difficulty. And the right materials. For at least here in Portugal, sometimes we don't have a big variety of materials, easily sourceable and with a good in budget. Okay, so you have to do a bit with what you have, and that definitely puts some barriers in your creativity of what you would like to do and what's actually practical to do. But yeah, you just need to, that's the limitations, and you need to work with them. I think that's one of the main difficulties. What is working for you? What is working? What is working for you? And the next question is, what is not working for you? What is working for me is always being online and answering the people. And if people have questions, they can DM on Instagram and be accessible to people. Saying that, it doesn't mean you have to be 24 hours accessible, okay? You definitely need to put limits of, you know. I tried, for example, this year already I had 2 Sundays that I had to visit even more than one project each Sunday. And that's because the client's working during the week, etc. So I understand that, but I try to avoid this kind of situation. Putting limits of how clients can access you is an important thing as well. But yeah, what's not working for you? I'm not sure. I will find out definitely what's not working. I think sometimes, for example, Facebook, it still works, it's still where people, you know, but I think from the 4,000 or something connections I have, maybe not even 200 see my things, for example. So if you don't do any kind of, even if you do some kind of advertisement, groups sometimes on Facebook, they are good. But even in groups, I think only 20 people see your things, even in big groups. So I'm not sure. Things keep changing, but at the same time, this is all for free, okay? So why are you complaining anyway, isn't it? But you just have to keep trying out all the different networks. I can't work with Twitter. I'm on Twitter, but mostly it's automatically things I put on Facebook appear on Twitter. Definitely something I like a lot, but not in terms of any business that they might create, but I really like Pinterest, and I use Pinterest with my clients as well. So I create boards with all the images and plants and materials I'm thinking about to share with my clients. So I really love Pinterest, but I'm in all of them, you know, Twitter, LinkedIn, really good for professionals, okay, really good to get a more professional network in your sector. So I really like to connect with other garden designers and companies on LinkedIn. Definitely Instagram for me is the best one for private clients right now. With the images, you know, it's really great. So I'm gonna do this. I'm thinking in doing for the first time this year some for my garden design practice, some posts on Instagram to check it out. But my budgets are small anyway, so I don't know. But I think organically it really works. You know, you just need to do it all the time. With the courses, I actually I did this thing. I saw someone suggesting like DM 10 messages a day for privately messages to people that follow you. This was for the courses. DM them for them to check out the course if they're interested. You know, other garden designs or something like this. So this is something you can do, but I definitely suggest this more organic kind of approach. and collaborate with magazines, with other blogs if you have some kind of blog in your area that you like. It's really important to keep in mind if you're doing projects, garden design, keep it local, because any adverts, any collaboration you might have, just make sure it's local and it's a local magazine or a local blog or something like this that will. Not saying that you can collaborate with more national, whatever country you are, magazines that will more, but that will be definitely more for prestige, I think. But in terms of getting projects, I think it's more sustainable to work closer to home. Last question, what are some barriers that are preventing you from reaching your goals? I think I'm reaching my goals. Maybe this year, maybe next. Barriers, time is the only barrier, I think. Because if you really want to, you get to it and you do it. But time, it's really precious, and I'm not great at managing mine. I sometimes lose a lot of time just doing images and putting my Instagram and all this. It's not saying that you're losing time, but you definitely, it's not work. So I think managing my time is is one of the barriers that you need to really manage, and you need to really control, and getting that best time management possible, for your work and your life, and all this balance to get together. But yeah, so I think that's the only thing preventing, because everything else, come on, it's amazing all the tools you have now. Most of them you can actually work for them for free, or they take you a percentage, for example, of the courses, they take a percentage, but everything else is for free. So the investment is minimum. In terms of garden design practice, and definitely invest in a website with good image. I have this idea from Monique Briones, it's a Brazilian landscape architect that works in Spain, and she couldn't find a job in her area, so she did something I really think it's a great idea. What she did is she rented the house for her, and she asked a small loan just to do the garden like she wanted. So she did a project for her own garden. She got the loan from the bank. She invested all in the garden and took pictures, okay? So she did pictures, she did videos for YouTube, and people start seeing it. She started talking about the plants in her garden and all this. So she actually did a blog, daily blog of her garden and working with the garden and implementation and all this. And people start seeing all this development. And actually, she got a TV program in Spain from this, and she got work from this. So that's an amazing idea that you can implement, I know, okay, maybe you need an initial investment to actually do the garden, but she not only got jobs, she got a TV show, and she got an amazing garden for herself. So this is doing your own in this kind of sector, garden design, landscaping. If you have a space, or family friend has some space you can practice on your ideas, for example, and you take pictures or you do videos talking about it, that's a great idea to start with. And yeah, I did an interview with her, and she's really inspiring. But yeah, you can, your own creativity and just and communication skills are the best thing you can have. And to get, it's really a thing of doing it every day. Just don't give up, okay? But it might take a few years, but that's normal. Nothing comes that quick or that easy. Okay, thank you for the questions, Julia. I hope I managed to clarify some doubts. Okay, and if you want to check the courses, the courses are mainly to work with the 3D software. Okay, to implement your ideas and show to your clients, not to learn garden design per se. Okay, I'm thinking about doing. I started doing this in Portuguese, garden design, because we don't have garden design in Portuguese. But definitely follow a lot of garden designers. Check out in UK. Check out RHS Garden Festival. I go there this year again. Is in May, and you have amazing inspirations, amazing gardens that you get inspired with. Okay, so thank you guys.